Hi, so the theme for this week is using our mat in a rolled up way. Today is Monday meditation, and then Tuesday it's going to be lying on it on your back, and then Wednesday lying on your front, and then the Thursday is some standing work on the mat. So I've written a blog which I posted Sunday night about what meditation can do for you and thinking about a sense of stillness. So today's session is really looking at that meditation and not much movement today at all. But I'm using my mat in a rolled up way just to lift me off the floor slightly to make sitting cross-legged a little bit more comfortable. If you want to sit on a chair, you don't have to sit like this at all. Sit however feels comfortable for you. But just notice, if you are able to sit cross-legged, how just being lifted a little bit just allows the hips to be a bit softer, allows you to stack that rib cage over the pelvis a little bit easier and find some length through the spine. Certainly if you've got any tight hips, if you're very flexible in your hips, it makes probably no difference to you whatsoever. Okay, and then I've just put a little cushion under my feet to just support the bottoms of my ankles so that they're not heavy on the floor. I'm going to take a moment just to lift one side of my sit bone and just find that little sit bone that you sit on underneath you, that little knobbly bone, and pull it out to the side. And then let's go the other way and pull the other one out to the side. And I can just feel a little bit more planted through my sit bones. And I can align my body. So we're going to sit here and align that rib cage over the pelvis. Let the knees just soften. Let the shoulders soften. And let the jaw soften. So perhaps the teeth are a little bit apart. And let the tongue just rest comfortably on the roof of the mouth. Let the jaw just drop back and sink to let go of any tension in it. And then just take a moment to scan through the body. We'll go from the top of the head down to the feet. And just noticing what thoughts come into your mind as you scan from the top of your head over the face, cheeks, jaw. Become aware of the neck. And then scanning over both shoulders, down the arms, forearms, into the fingers. Becoming aware of the contact of the arms and the hands with either the floor or your body. And then scanning down through the spine, just maintaining a sense of erect posture, down into the pelvis and the weight of the sit bones on that mat underneath you. Becoming aware of the legs and the orientation of the thighs, knees, and the contact of your feet on the floor. And then just become aware of the breath and the rhythm of the breath and how it is for you in this moment. And as you sit here in stillness, you may start to notice thoughts popping into your mind. Perhaps lots of thoughts, perhaps just one. Just allow any thoughts to come and go. Even if you're thinking, I'm not thinking anything at all, just notice what's coming into your mind. And sometimes meditation is all about clearing the mind. I don't want you to do that today. invite the thoughts in. And I want you to imagine a shelf in your mind's eye. And I want you to just place each thought on that shelf. And now start arranging those thoughts into how those thoughts play out as feelings. Are they anxious thoughts? Are they happy thoughts? Are they must do this thoughts? Just shelve them and put them in the order that feels right for you. And now, as though you're picking a book from that shelf, just pick one of those thoughts. Perhaps a thought that feels uncomfortable for you. Or you're anxious or stressed about. And we're going to hold that thought in our awareness. And let's sit with that for a while. And whilst you hold that thought in your mind's eye, we're going to come back to scanning through the body. From the top of the head, perhaps noticing how the forehead and the jaw feel, the neck, the shoulders, the rib cage, the pelvis, thighs, knees, down into the feet. Checking in with yourself about how that thought has perhaps changed your body. Get a sense of the feeling that is associated with this thought. Where do you feel it in your body? Can you reach for it? Can you touch it? And now coming back to the breath, noticing how that feels for you right now. And now changing your focus from the thought to your breath. Noticing how the air filters in through the nose, mouth, or both. How it passes to the back of the throat and filters in, down through the throat, into the lungs. And how the air filters round the rib cage. Perhaps noticing the stretch on the abdomen wall. And if your mind gets drawn away back to the thought, just know it's there and bring yourself as best you can back to the breath. Becoming aware now of the out breath. perhaps noticing the deflation of the chest wall as the air leaves the body. Trying as best you can not to change the rhythm of the breath. Just allow the body to breathe from one moment into the next, noticing the sensations of the in-breath and then of the out-breath. Becoming aware now of the moment of pause between the in-breath and the out-breath. What is that moment? And now come back to the feelings associated with that thought and where you experience them in the body. And using the breath, see if you can filter that air in as it filters into the throat. Feel that air filter into that space, that feeling. Breathe into it. Filter the air around it, through it. And then notice for you what happens on the out-breath. Perhaps you can let go of any of those feelings on the out-breath. Perhaps they remain. Noticing that you can sit in this stillness with the thought, with the feelings. Noticing perhaps that they change with each moment. Scanning back over the body, noticing perhaps changes in the body from the start of the meditation to the end of the meditation, and that all things are transient. They shift, they change. Scanning over the top of the head, forehead, cheeks and jaw, down over the shoulders, arms, forearms, hands, the contact of the hands on the floor or on the body. Scanning down through the spine, noticing the alignment, which may be different from the start of the session. Noticing perhaps that the thoughts as you scan through the body are different from the start of the session. Notice the weight of the pelvis on your mat, scanning over the legs into the feet. And then bringing your attention back to the in-breath and the out-breath. Perhaps you have a sense of detachment from the thoughts and feelings you put on your shelf. Perhaps not today. Just noticing how things are for you and how they change from one moment into the next. But you can sit in stillness with your breath, opening your eyes. Just roll the shoulders back and bring your awareness back into the room. I hope that's been helpful, and I'm going to share a link to Anxious Thoughts by Jack Cornfield, who's a Buddhist monk that does some good blogs, which was a bit of an inspiration for the blog I posted up yesterday and the meditation today.